It all started back in 1977 when 6 young, fresh-faced lads out of high school decided to form a rock and roll band. And of course, little knowing that their music would literally take them to the top of the charts right around the world. Their achievements are legendary, #1 records right around the world. Of course, they recently headlined just 5 years ago at Wembley Stadium, 72,000 happy-paying customers. They've won numerous music awards over the years, sold in excess of 30 million. Ladies and gentlemen, what about a big one for INXS?
Wow. Yeah, I've been doing sort of similar thing, writing, working with a guy called Vincent Stone, done some music for a couple of short movies as well, and working with a sort of dance outfit called Eargasm.
Michael, we've got a rough idea of what you've been up to too, mate.
Skip. making babies.
Gary, tell us.
Halfway through making babies. Finished my.
Sorry to interrupt you.
gotta get home. Finished my studio. I've been working with a lot of unsigned young bands and solo acts, just playing and producing. Did Richard Clapton album at my place. Basically, just trying to give young bands a go.
Johnny?
I've just been writing songs and sort of doing secret research on potential soundtrack scores and stuff, but not as exciting as everybody else. But
A bit slow, eh?
yeah, catch up. It's baby making especially.
And Andrew, welcome back. Give us an overview of the past 3 years, mate.
Well, I've spent the last couple of years working mainly in London, and funnily enough, I recorded 2 tracks with Yachty Indy at Abbey Road Studios, in the old Beatles studio, the recording room #2 there. And we did 2 tracks, Super Highway, A Matter of Choice, and I've produced a British band called Gun, finished an album with them, and basically written songs with Olivia Newton-John, Keith Urban, quite a few different people actually, Teddy Richards, Aretha Franklin's son, and a few other people.
And me, mate.
And I was about to say, happily work with my old friend Michael.
Well, I must admit, it is fantastic to see the 6 of you there. Ladies and gentlemen from the press, some questions.
Nick Bennett from Red Television. Guys, you've worked with Bruce Fairbairn, who's done all sorts of things, Cranberries, and just let me check Van Halen. So does the album sound more like the Van Halen mold?
No. No, because I know, good question. Basically, the way we put this album together is we started off, Andrew and I, spending a lot of time writing songs, and everybody actually writing songs and stuff, but we spent a lot more time on writing them and demoing them and getting them the way we wanted to sound. And then we wanted somebody that knew how to pull 6 guys into a studio and get them sounding great quickly, you know, so it sounded fresh. And Bruce is really, really good at that. So we made the album literally in 3 weeks. So that's why we used Bruce. He's real straightforward, like put that coffee down, get in here, you know. So.
One of the quickest albums you've made, you think?
It's one of the quickest albums ever made. So it's great. It's great working with him. I mean, and the styling, as usual, sort of comes from the band, but more so on this record, I think.
Kick was one of your biggest albums. Do you want to try and drag that kind of success into the year 2000? Is that what you're aiming for now?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Kick was when we made Kick, from memory, I think we had I think it was a general feeling of the band of making an album that would be, I guess, very acceptable, you know, very pop, and it was kind of power pop, I guess. I mean, that's what we had in our mind at the time. It's the kind of record we made. I mean, our favorite record may not be Kick. There may be millions of others, but you know, our favorite records. And you know, records do well because of all kinds of reasons. It's a very complex question to answer, you know. And at the moment, we made a record that we've got a lot of conviction about.
Michael, you've talked a lot of bullshit in the press. Is that reflected much on this album?
There's no bullshit on the album.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's stuff in there, you know. I mean, you learn a lot, and
I feel a lot, and you know, if you've got any sensitivity or soul, it's gonna reflect on what you're doing in your music. And I hope.
Angela Bishop.
What's it like getting together and rehearsing together after all this time?
It's been wonderful. Been really, really exciting.
Yeah.
Actually, we're all expecting it to be a lot harder than it was. It just seems like, I guess because we've grown up together and learned almost to play our instruments together, it's such a natural thing, you know, and it just seems to happen. So it's great. I'm very excited.
The question was, how do we get our songs together? Andrew, do you want to take that one away, baby?
I would say the process is a fairly organic one at the best of times, wouldn't you say? I'd say it's a fairly...
Yeah. Actually, this time we started from scratch, didn't we? We used to do a lot of sort of, you'd write lyrics and I'd write lyrics, you write lyrics, I write, you know, and we'd sort of try and match them. And this time we just sort of walked into a room with nothing. And it just, every day we came out with a new song all finished. It was scary.
When we went to make the record, these guys had, I must say, more or less 14 complete, the songs actually completed, like fully written. And it makes a real...
It's a nice change.
Yeah, it makes a nice change. Instead of writing lyrics as we're finishing the album and mixing and that sort of thing.
How relevant do you feel INXS are now to the current music scene?
Did you hear that? Yeah. Good. Next.
Hey, listen, can I ask you a question?
No.
Kim, can we just ask, do you want to do that one?
Yeah, no. The question was how relevant are we to the current music scene, which is it's a question that I guess every band has to come to terms with, even from the time, you know, it can be 6 months after you've formed, it can be 20 years later, like almost now. You know, I don't know. We'll see when the record comes out. I think you take with you your past always, you know, and you take with you the people that inspired you, who may be 20 years before when you started. So it's a big organic thing, you know. At the moment, say in London, there's a whole bunch. It's like I'm living in Chelsea, and I might as well. I'm going to bump into Jimi Hendrix, you know, because it's pure nostalgia. You know? So I don't know what the current music scene is. We're trying to be fresh as possible. I think this album's fresher than actually half the people that are, you know, doing that stuff.
It's interesting. There's not a lot of bands left from the 80s.
Yeah, there's only a few of us, so the in-betweenies, you know, the punk and chic fans, you know.
I'd love it.
Kirk would love it.
We're so fucking special.
One thing that's interesting, guys, I mean, the 80s were just huge for you in the States. Kick, you know, obviously the biggest selling album in the States. It seemed when America started to wane a little bit, suddenly Europe took off, and you guys are, you know, still huge in Europe. How do you figure that?
I think America's extremely fickle. If you don't keep on providing 4 more kicks, they don't want to really know about it. It's pretty difficult. Record companies don't like it. You know, no one likes it. You know,
they want a formula.
It's hamburgers and Coca-Cola and INXS's latest single.
We didn't tour on Welcome to Wherever You Are either.
Yeah, we
weren't from Seattle.
And we're not from Seattle. No, that's very true. Yeah.
Well, what do you say to the people who are writing you off and who are saying you're a has-been band? How do you answer people?
Fuck you.
Fuck off.
Fuck you, pal. See you in 20 years.
I mean, really, there's no other answer to that.
I mean, you know, it's just our records. That's the least of it. You know.
Yeah, really.
You know, we all have our wilderness years in music, and it doesn't matter what band you can take anybody, a bunch of people, and put them up here, and we all have our wilderness years, whether it's drugs, alcohol, lack of fame, whatever. But if you go down the corner and find any band that's like, you know, some indie band, those guys have the biggest egos in the world and are very, very clear of their territory, even if it is Surrey Hills, and they're the biggest pop stars in the world, man. I'm telling you, bigger egos than I got.
Amongst your achievements, 30 million albums, all that stuff, how hard is it? I mean, probably your greatest achievement has been, or one of your greatest, has been staying together. There's not too many bands who stick together this long. How much has that been tested over the years?
Well, there's been moments. You know, basically though,
I don't think it's a big problem.
basically there was a point where we were just so busy that we didn't have time to even think about whether we were together or not. You know, it was just literally your life was an itinerary, But I guess what we really wanted to achieve in the last few years is to get our lives back somewhat, and then see if we could still be the same 6 guys together as a band.
Yeah,
with lives as well.
We've
And it
always
seems to
enjoyed
work.
playing together. We really enjoy making music. We're really happy with our albums, and I think we'll be the first ones to say let's call it a day if we don't feel we're making albums that we're happy with.
It's true. I mean, you get into a room and you find out if you can make music.
We don't want to be doing cabaret.
When we all got together to rehearse for this album in London, we hadn't seen each other in just about 2 years as 6 guys, and without sounding corny, it was a really great. Once we got over the male bonding, it was a really great experience.
Still recovering.
It took a few weeks for that.
We've never not split. It's just that we for once actually took control of our lives and said, hey, let's get off this ridiculous roundabout here for a while and do it the way we want to do it, and that's exactly what we're doing at the moment.
Yeah,
Do you have a time limit for that time that you needed for yourself?
No,
not really, no.
It just occurs, it just happens, and suddenly you call someone up, Andy calls me up and says, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Let's get together.
And now it's a really fresh start for us in a way. With a new record
good.
company around the world, new management, and in many ways, starting a new album. It feels like almost we're beginning again.
So what brought you back to do this now? What was the to get you all back?
Great songs.
The love of doing it.
Yeah, and we were ready to.
I mean,
as well.
Andrew and I got together and we didn't know what's going to happen. You never do,
Is that a weird feeling, knowing that you can spice it with such a different pursuit to yourself?
No, it goes both ways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a nice
it's
feeling.
True, it does
really.
go both ways. We're inspired.
You inspire us, and
Yeah.
hopefully we inspire you.
Are you saying you like the press now?
Love the press.
Are you saying you like
Well,
us
did
now?
we ever say we didn't? Did we ever say we didn't? Yeah, but that's
That was
different.
English press.
That's outrageous invasion of privacy, and I'm an Aussie bloke underneath all this, and I just couldn't take it any longer, And I'm not really. I hate violence and stuff, but blah blah. It's expensive to punch photographers. I found out. I'm on a 12-month bond for GBH, so there'll be no punching for the moment.
Got in the way, Michael, do you think it's sort of clouded what INXS is all about, and that is music, I think the presses and all this raucous in London, has it got in the way of what you're about?
Totally. I mean, it's horrifying. You lose control of the perception of oneself. You become a card. You don't become. In fact, what happens is you're no longer a human being. That's the weird. I don't know.
A god.
I don't know. After a while, you don't know, and
headline.
you're locked in a room. And you can't go out, and you wander.
Whatever you make him.
Whatever you make him, exactly. But doing this kind of thing is you can do this here in England. It's a little different. It's a strange thing going on there. I don't know what it is. It's a sickness.
Is that the curse of being from anything?
Oh, the horrible curse.
Maybe you've got other guys can answer that. You don't think the copper's much?
Lucky
Copper's
then.
much? No, thank
No,
God.
it's
Yeah.
great.
Let's go.
Yeah, I
Cop.
figured. I mean, I don't know what it would be like to be Michael's position. I mean, if I had a choice, I probably wouldn't be. But that's my sorry.
I certainly could.
But I mean, I totally
She's
support and back him all the way because I know Michael as an individual, and as a person, and I know what is in his heart. I don't really know how it can appear sometimes if someone's in your face 24 hours a day. I really feel for that. I have a lot of respect for Michael.
Thanks, John.
And we don't live in London.
The voice is very much behind you then, though, isn't it? You're not being handled by the rich press again, are you?
They travel. They live well. They're all staying at the Regent, and they are here. The English ones, yeah.
So they're still
They drive Mercedes Benzes, and they go, "Come on, mate, it's a living."
They have bodyguards.
And the ones that get too close, and I don't really care. I want to get back to music and this band and INXS. Fuck it, I don't want this shit anymore.
Is that why you wanted to make headlines for something other for your music now?
I'm sorry.
You want to make headlines for your music?
Yeah.
Of course we do.
That's what it's all about.
That's what the hell I'm doing here. The problem is you spend 20 years working your guts out for what you believe in. Some jerk comes along from Burnage and makes 20,000 quid off you a weekend, exploiting that. It's got nothing to do with what you were doing it for in the first place. That's the problem, as far as I can see. It's exploitation. I mean, I'm glad you're all here. We love you, but you know, you are. You know, it's a mutual consent here. You know, we're talking about music. Let's get back to it.